thank you for sticking with us, people. We know we're competing a little bit with your lunch hour, but hopefully we're learning some exciting things here. I'm Gloria Gavin from Resonai.
Hi, everyone. This is Yuji Doi from Kajima.
And today we wanted to have a conversation with you about what we see going on in our built world and how it's transforming. And we thought no better way to do that than to really go through some live use cases that are being deployed today, and also talk to you a little bit about our future and where we see this going. And at Resonai, for those of us that have been working with the built world, all types of commercial real estate and buildings, whether it's from the construction end, property management, facility management, we know that our industry has been a little bit slow to transform and to embrace digital. But we're really seeing a huge acceleration, explosion of IoT, lots of different types of solutions across the building life cycle, property management, facility management, building management. More and more complexity. At the same time, we have our mixed reality and metaverse, growing. It's a reality. We want to understand how to best leverage that for really helping our buildings thrive. And we've got the macro trends of, a new reality of how workers want to work, how people want to live in buildings, how to employ technologies to modernize, to provide new tenant experiences, right? This is what the consumer is demanding today, right? All of this is why we at Resonai have built a new operating system and a digital infrastructure that we believe is necessary to both provide some really practical solutions today and, importantly, be the foundation for the future, gather the data and the understanding and the connection to the end user that we feel is going to be critically important to launching applications in a mixed reality world. So, Yuji, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, thank you, Gloria. A little bit about myself as well. So this is, again, Yuji Doi. I'm leading the innovation team for our company. I'm solely responsible for all the innovation activity here in the Silicon Valley. And a little bit about who we are. We are Kajima. We are a construction company and a real estate developer. So we are Japan-based, but globally operated, and also very much in the US as well. We have a long history, so starting from 1840, that is pretty a while ago, but that doesn't mean that we are like a old style company. We are always trying to evolve ourselves, transforming ourselves. So we started as a carpenter at the very beginning, but we became a contractor, added real estate development, and added engineer and so forth, and also tried to thrive the construction technology. We added Technical Research Institute in our division, and then always try to be more aggressive to be innovative. And in this fast-moving world, we also are looking to the digital transformation and open innovation, and that's the thing that we are now working on. But what we are start looking in is in a different vision, which Gloria, can you pass the phone? Yeah. So, we start really thinking that to reimagine what's going to be the future of the building going to look like, right? So one of the things that I thought was very important here is I think the construction will be much more interconnected, which means we ourselves will be much more having a touch point with the other industry. For example, it could be retails, or it could be hospitalities, or infrastructures, or transportation, right? So even though we do the construction of those facilities, that doesn't mean that we have been working more into those kind of industries. And there should be much more interconnection and more, I think the boundary be much more blurred in that sense. And the other aspect that we have a challenge here to do that is actually our kind of business model is B2B, as well as we call it like a B2G. So G means for the government, right? So we have a lot of public work like that. But our main clients will be like a building owners, or the tenants, or the landowners, or the infrastructure owners, or like that. And we kind of lack the connection to the very end user. End user means, for example, for the building, it will be the residents or the office workers or such. And how to really get to the point to get interconnected with the end user will be much more important that helps us to think, reimagine about what's going to be the future service of the building, as well as that can also self-reflect us that if we did a good enough design or the construction or even for the building management or like that. So we have this kind of challenge, and we have to start future-proof that if the things can be happen in these areas. So that's what, and that we were very lucky that we were able to meet Resonai, Gloria here, and then start the journey here. So Gloria, why not you talk more about Resonai? Yeah.
Sure. So in helping Kajima meet some of these challenges, right? Again, fundamentally, we are an AI and computer vision company. And with our mission is really to help existing properties, the built world, thrive by helping them to operate more efficiently, launch innovative and mixed reality experiences, but also to prepare for the future and to benefit from a world with new revenue streams and new monetization opportunities by controlling this digital space, right? And to do this, right, we have developed a platform. It's an enterprise-ready, secure, integrated platform that combines key technologies. And we start by creating a highly accurate digital twin, which really understands the true physics of your building and everything in it. Right? We combine this with our proprietary location and tracking services so that you can find every device and recognize every device in your building. You can follow the traffic, understand patterns, but also provide things like navigation and wayfinding, very accurate, where, this is a very precise technology. And fundamentally, it's an AI platform. With our algorithms and machine learning, we connect the data from all of your different systems, right? And provide learnings both to update the building and digital twin, but also importantly, to provide the context to all of the applications that are running in the building and back to the devices running in the building, to help them operate more intelligently, right? And how do we do this? Well, it's a SaaS platform, and two key components, right? The digital twin that resides in the cloud becomes your central control. This is where you do very accurate visualization, where you have access to real-time data, and where you have a suite of admin tools. These tools allow you to do things like configure access and permission to individuals and groups, set up routes for navigation, and also to configure points of interest in the digital space where you can launch content, any type of content, including AR content and experiences, so that your end users can discover this content as they're navigating your building. And again, these are both for operational efficiencies in your technicians and maintenance people and people who are operating your buildings, but also your tenants, your shoppers in malls, et cetera. And we'll give you a couple examples of the use cases today. We have a growing list of applications, both across the building lifecycle for your different stakeholders, but we also, and importantly, make it easy, through our software development kit for our partners and our clients to build new experiences, to leverage these technologies that we've brought together and easily and quickly, more so than it's ever been possible, develop all sorts of new types of applications, leveraging our technologies. And fundamentally, we are a data-driven platform. So we give access, we're capturing everything from all the events, interactions, from the hardware, from the software that's integrated, from the application usage and your traffic in your building to give you the power to do more proactive business planning, to help you connect to your end users and personalize experiences, right? And in the future, this is how we see that this value of being able to control the building and control the data and understand the data is really going to give you the power to add new and try new monetization opportunities in your buildings. And we'll talk a little bit about how that's done. But first.
Yeah, so I really like the way that I pointed out the data is very important. So what I mentioned about those user experience, I think those will be more of the level of the data that I'm trying to say. So it's not just about, like temperature or those kind of things, rather more in depth about the user experience sort of thing. But when I first met Resonai, I was very amazed. First of all, like their groundbreaking technology, like I was feeling like, is it real? And thought we can pave the path for the future that we can collaborate and think what's going to be the real future of the building going to look like. But we cannot just go into the like a bigger fish. Rather, we have to be a little bit practical at the moment and try to start proofing the solutions or like that. So we kind of brought up 2 use cases that to work together. So one of the things was about the worker office environment. So here, the workers will be still living in the physical space, but they want to have much more frictionless experience to navigate through the actual building, right? For example, even in this pandemic, or now we call it like a hybrid workforce, right? So maybe more touch point with the physical environment will be much more less, but still the workers, when you come back to the office, you want to have the best of the experience or like that. So how the Resonai can really help here is, they can create the digital environment to be tagged with a physical environment. So, for example, the worker can easily navigate through their destination. For example, if they want to go to the meeting space, that they can easily get to the place that they have to be. And then if there's a booking things that they have to do, you might can do the booking from their apps and then easily give the update to the meeting system without going through some web services or like that. So very intuitively they can operate, and also to maximize their comfortableness. For example, they can easily turn on the lighting conditions or change the AC conditions or like that without thinking about all those remote controls like that. So this is one of the example, and the other one is about the facility management side of the thing. So more of the assets that we are going to manage, and then the way that we can do is having the Resonai to be the digital infrastructure and putting on top of all the relevant information. For example, all those IoT devices that always bring in the data set, as well as all the user experience that can be plugged into the digital infrastructure as well. And also more in a practical solution that, for example, if there's any kind of issues happening in the physical space, for example, light bulb is off or like that, user can easily point your smartphone to that and then say that this is an issue, so that the technician can easily arrive and then come to solve those issues without having hectic to see which room that they have to come into. So those are the practical use cases that we came up with.
Yeah, thanks, Yuji. So in managing millions of square feet globally, these are real things that are being deployed today in Kajima, and then also with the ability to offer those to their clients globally. And I won't go into too much detail because we're in booth 100 in terms of our product and demos. You can actually see it in action. But I will tell you, key components are, like I said, a central control, which is a web application that allows you to see and manage whether it's one property or portfolio of properties, and get access to the data, and also remotely set up these routes and these navigation and points of interest where you can launch content. And importantly, it's the applications, right, for the end user, which allow you to touch and understand what's going on in your buildings. Vera Concierge is an application that is deployed in a number of different types of building. It provides the user indoor navigation and wayfinding, and it can be integrated with any kind of content. So in this example, you see promotions in a mall helping to drive traffic to a specific destination, but this is also the application we're using to provide office workers at Kajima, K-Tower, with the ability to book a desk for desk hoteling, book a meeting room, get an AR guide to learn how to use the AV equipment in their conference room, see the menu, and see traffic patterns and understand a good time to go eat and avoid high traffic areas. All of this intelligence is happening because we understand everything that's going in the building, and we're reading the data from different devices. So, this is just another example of an application for a technician and maintenance manager, where they can walk through the building, surface data from all devices. They can set thresholds and understand areas of waste or high usage, and then get AR navigation to go address these issues very, very quickly. And these are just a couple of the examples that are available and deployed today, right? but a little bit too about what's ahead beyond our very practical operational applications and the ability to give navigation and wayfinding. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, and actually this looking to a different business model makes me very much excited. And I think those creating the digital infrastructure and having that infrastructure as an ecosystem for any stakeholders or maybe different industries to come in, for example, in those kind of retail setups or like that, that could be really much a different business model that we might can have. So this makes me really excited and makes me so much confident to work with a company like yours that we can rethink, reimagine together about what's going to be the business model.
Yeah, so as we help Kajima navigate to services away, and grow their services side of their building and monetize their properties in new ways, right? It's of course about the end user connection, those applications that are going to help them get the data. And then once they are controlling their digital space, right? We feel that we're empowering building owners and operators, right? To have that data and explore, just like we did in the online world, the ability to launch new revenue streams, whether it's through ads and promotions in malls and office buildings, whether it's new amenities for their tenants instead of just leasing spaces, and e-commerce is only just beginning. So the people that are going to benefit from those, from these new models that are already being deployed, certainly can be the traditional big technology companies that control the digital space, but we hope that we're helping to democratize who actually benefits by providing building owners and operators the ability to transform their physical buildings into these digital assets today and start testing and thriving in a whole new way, right? And taking us into a whole new opportunity. And again, there's many examples already about how our platform is being deployed to, use AR experiences for, to promote brands and to drive traffic in shopping malls, and even take advantage of really immersive games, really immersive experiences to differentiate properties, right, and to connect with the end user in a whole new way. So come see us at booth 100. You can see our product, being demoed today, and we can talk to you about how, to get started. This is a SaaS platform, and really just touching on the beginning. So, thank you for joining us. Any parting words, Yuji?
Yeah. So I think, Gloria mentioned about the digital infrastructure, but also this physical infrastructure. So the building will be one of the foundation of everyone to reside by, having both the digital aspect as the physical aspect. So, I think what the importance here is, all the participants that could possibly jump into this platform will very much, become the way that we can reimagine about the building environment or like that. So yeah, that's kind of a
great.
thought.
So what you're telling us is that digital infrastructure is an important foundation,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, great point. I mean, we believe that we're helping future-proof, if you will, because this digital infrastructure and plus the software development kit allows us to very quickly be in a position, together with the data, to understand what users in any type of building want, and hopefully be prepared to quickly build new experiences in the future.
And this is just the beginning of this. Yep.
So if there are any questions, we're happy to take some. We have 5 minutes.
Hi, Oscar Castillo at Northrop Grumman.
Yeah.
This is fascinating, really, really helpful. I love this vision that I'm seeing in front of me. Just really quickly, so down in Redondo Beach, where the facility I support, we're in the process of this multi-year journey. We're adding, interactive digital signage, which has wayfinding, RFID tracking, lots of temperature, relative humidity. So I'm a bit frustrated in our journey right now because I have a number of different software suites and data's all over the place, and nothing looks good. Everything looks like an engineer made it, and nobody wants to use it. So one question that has to come from our defense industry. We really care about our data, as I'm sure lots of industries do, but I'll be selfish. In your model, is it possible for everything to remain on our networks? What are some comments on data security?
Yeah, we have a couple of different models of how we have deployed with our customers. You know, at the core, we're a SaaS platform, right? Where you own and you operate we help host and help operate our software. You own your digital twin and your data, right? We, of course, need to pass data back and forth to power some of the applications, but unlike other digital twin providers out there, you know, we don't own your digital twin or your data. You always do. We employ, you know, the best security and have, you know, we deal with large healthcare and government facilities, so we are in compliance, you know, with all the compliance and regulation issues, ISO X1000. You know, our data is secure. But I think on the ownership part, you own your data, and we find different ways. A lot of the computation does have to, you know, happen in the cloud so that we keep our end user experiences mobile easy. But we also have done things with on-premise solutions. It really depends on you know, the customer, the client, the size, and what you're looking to deploy, which applications. We have a handful of applications. You know, including the ones that we talked about today that can be leveraged, and then just, you know, we rebrand things or we rework things to surface data according to customers. But we also have the capability to build new types that, for example, we have customers where we're connecting their existing RFID beacons, sensors, software systems, right? And building a new application where, you know, they use their data in a whole new way than what we've seen in the past. So hopefully that answers your question. If not, come see us at Booth 100. We'd love to get into detail with you with some of our technical folks as well. Any other questions that I can answer today? Well, thank you for spending some of your lunch hour with us today.